What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is Tuesday, July 29th, late evening, and in today's video we're going to give you a quick update on the habitat improvement, the wildlife management activities we have going on here on the farm right now, including an update on, you see it back there, the food plots. Stick around. Welcome back, everybody. So in the last video that we made talking about the farm and the habitat improvement activities we had going on, you saw where I had seeded our food plots. Well, after I seeded those food plots, we had 4 weeks of pretty much continuous rain, and you saw the huge growth that we had in those food plots. Well, this is one of those food plots that I did a video on last time. Since that time, in the past 5 weeks, we've had 1 inch of rain as compared to the 9 inches or so of rain that we got during the first 4 weeks. Everything kind of slowed down. It got stunted, and I'll show you here a little bit, but you know, the buckwheat plot reached its maximum potential. Well, a lot of the other seed that I had planted down here that is a little bit longer to germinate and grow and reach maturity, it just died. I mean, the corn that I had planted over there, a lot of the sorghum, those sort of things, it just died. It just fizzled out. And I'm looking over here now, and I'll give you a close-up here too, and I'll just kind of walk you through what I'm talking about. So you see here the buckwheat, as I said in the earlier video, the previous video, it's up to my head. And as a matter of fact, you see down in the middle there, the deer have came in here and they've wallowed out big holes in the middle of this buckwheat plot where they've been using it to bed in. I've been watching a doe and a fawn up here, and they just bed in the center of all this buckwheat in here. Now, as you see here, it has all gone to seed now. And what I'm going to do, what I'm planning to do today anyway, is I'm planning to put the disc on the tractor and run through here and just knock all this down. By doing that, that's going to lay all this buckwheat down. That buckwheat is going to then turn into a kind of a top compost layer, or they call it a green manure. It's also going to dislodge a lot of these seed pots, these seeds from the heads of the buckwheat, and there's still enough time that we can actually get a second buckwheat germination crop here on the farm. Like I said, it is July 29th. This buckwheat grows incredibly fast. In 4 weeks' time, I could have another stand of buckwheat. And the good news is they are actually calling for cooler temperatures and a little bit of rain coming in the next couple days. We have had a record heat July where every day this month has been above average. And not only that, but it has been, what is today, 29th? If I'm not mistaken, we have had like 26 of the 29 days have been above 90 degrees. We have set records this July for heat and drought here in our portion of East Tennessee. The crazy thing is just 2 miles away, folks have had 6-7 inches of rain, and we're at 1 inch. It's unbelievable what has happened around here. Now let's take a look at this other plot over here. You can see, I didn't realize there was this much sunflower in the plot blend that I put out here, but it is heavily sunflower. Well, the soybeans and the lab, you can see they're still coming up in there. They're doing pretty good, coming on pretty strong. I don't see any seed pods on there yet, but you know, there's a lot of potential there. I'm looking forward to seeing how that turns out, and I'm going to let this plot just continue to go and do its thing all the way into the fall, because the birds and different things will make use of the sunflower heads, and then the sunflower heads are still acting as a trellis for some of the vining plants like the lab. I really hope that the soybeans here, I really hope they actually set on beans, but because of this drought and the heat that we've had, I'm not too optimistic about it. I'm hoping it happens. Maybe if we can get some rain coming this week and the cooler temperatures later this week, it'll happen. But I don't know. You can drop a comment, let me know. I really don't know about all these sunflower. That's just crazy. I did not expect there to be that many sunflowers in there. it's really cool to look at, and it's going to have a lot of benefit. I mean, obviously it's had benefit for the pollinators, and it's going to have benefit for the birds and the turkeys and everything, and even the deer. I've seen deer come in and eat entire sunflower heads off. But let me know what you think. What's your experience with sunflowers, and what kind of experience you've had, and your thoughts on using sunflowers in your summer food plot. All right, so we're going to walk down here, down along the edge of the pines down here, and I'm going to give you a kind of a glimpse into how things have progressed since we did the burn. But first, as I go down there to show you the pines, I'm walking down this mowed path here that we keep back here. Look at this. Look over here beside me. This is another one of those sections that we had burned, and I had a couple video clips on this following the controlled burn. This was historically goldenrod, blackberries, and multiflora rose. Well, now you take a look at it, it is probably 95% ragweed. So, ragweed, it is a nuisance because it grows so much, it chokes a lot of things out, and then obviously a lot of people in this area have a lot of allergies to it. But when TWRA and State Forestry came out and toured my property with me after we bought it, they saw the ragweed and they were like, that is a very important plant, a native plant for the wildlife. I don't know. I haven't looked into it a lot. I need to do some research on it to see. Not much I can do about it right now other than just mow it down and, see what comes up next. But that is a lot of ragweed. That is an insane amount of ragweed if you look over through there at it. And it is all ragweed. But interestingly, you look over here on the other side of me, this other section that was burned, and there's a little bit of ragweed in there, but it's not dominated with ragweed like that section over there is. So anyway, let's go down here and I'll show you the pines. All right, walking down the path here. This is walking into the area where I had my tree stand last year, where I was set up and did all that videoing and got all those deer on camera. I just keep this little path here mowed off in the summer generally. If you've seen any of my videos in the past, in the pines, typically when you come down here this time of year, the ground was just brown from all the pine needles and it choked everything out. Look at this. It is like this throughout this entire section of pines. I wasn't really expecting this. I was expecting some greenery, some greening up growth to come in, but I was not expecting this volume and this thick of greenery coming up in here. I mean, it is up to my chest in a lot of places. This is just unbelievable. I've only been down in the pines a couple times since the burn. Look out through here. I'll go show you over here too. This is looking at another section. There's a lot of deer tracks all in this path here where I mowed. So they're obviously walking these mowed paths. Look down in there. Let me zoom in. I mean, it is just green everywhere down in there. It's crazy. I do have a trail camera up way back over there, back over in the pines, and I'm getting quite a bit of activity, but this is just unbelievable. And once again, you look at it, and it appears to be a very large amount of ragweed, which I don't know what I was expecting to come back. I really don't know what vegetation I was expecting to come back following the burn, but I really wasn't expecting it to be dominated by ragweed. That's unbelievable. Well, there's not a whole lot more to show you right now. I'm going to get to the house. I got to get that I got to get that disc put on the tractor so I can go through and try to knock down all of that buckwheat up there. I'm hoping the cooler weather that's forecast for later this week and a little bit of rain will give me a little bit more opportunity to get out and do some other stuff around the farm. It has just been insanely brutally hot with these, mid 90-degree temperatures and triple-digit heat indexes. It's plus having to work and travel for work and keep the gardens up and do all the canning and preserving we're doing. It's just been a very, very busy summer. So, wow, that turned out so much better than I was kind of expecting, really. This just laid down, no problem. You can see all this buckwheat, and there was a little bit of sorghum. I totally forgot that I planted sun hemp in here. I see a little bit of sun hemp, but it really did not grow. There's some right there. It really did not grow the way I was expecting it to grow. I was reading it was supposed to get up to like 6 feet tall and have all these, it probably wasn't mature enough, but it's supposed to have seed pods and all that sort of stuff. Well, there was none of that. But this buckwheat, I mean, if you look at it, it's a hollow stem. It's almost like a straw, actually. So it's going to work amazingly well at retaining moisture in the soil. And this soil, as you can see, I mean, it's really dark, it's really rich. And since I have disked this down, just in the very short time, I've had a flock of turkeys and poults in here scratching around, looking for the buckwheat seeds that I knocked down. And now we had a storm blow through, and even though we've only had 1.1 inches of rain in the past 38 days, that storm just came, it actually just developed over top of us, and it sat here for 45 minutes and dropped 3/4 of an inch of rain. So we got more rain in 45 minutes than we have gotten in weeks here on the farm. So we've got all these buckwheat seeds that have dislodged from here, from where I drove over the top of it and disturbed everything. We've had the rain come down. All of this buckwheat I knocked over is going to lay here on top and help retain the moisture in the soil. I am looking and optimistically hoping for another strong buckwheat stand to come along, and it should be reaching maturity about the time archery season. Maybe it may reach maturity a little bit before archery season, but it should be here and be a good stand for the deer to come in and hit on during archery season. I'm planning on coming in and bush hogging out a spot over here in the edge of these trees. You can't see it, it's off screen here, and putting a ground blind over there for my son to be able to hunt here over this food plot and over that plot there as well. So I am really impressed, really happy with how this turned out, and I will try to keep you updated on the progress of this. I'm going to get my stuff loaded up and get back to the house because I hear thunder off in the distance, and I think there's another storm brewing, and I don't want to be out here for it on top of this ridge. So thank you so much, and I'll keep you updated on how this is going. Wish you the best, and hope everything is going well for you with your property management, your food plots, as you're doing your preseason scouting, all that stuff. I hope it's going amazingly well for you. Drop a comment below. Let me know if it's going well if you want to. If you have any suggestions or comments on this. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. God bless.